I'm not in the shape for all this anymore.
Put Barbie stuff down now. Now.
Looks like a opened up cap right there.
What do you want me to do about it? You just gotta go grab something else.
2575. Fly back. The new fly back here has 3 pots on it. I don't know what that's all about. Alright, record the screen. See what if anything comes on. So this one. Anything on the screen?
Yeah, checkers. They're all...
Okay, the monitor does work, but I'm unplugging it. Okay. Got my screwdriver here. Ground to the chassis. Nothing. Must have discharged quickly. I get a bit nervous at this part, but people are playing Galaga, getting a little bit upset. There we go. It's just got some kind of like I don't know, silicone or something on there. I'm not quite sure what that's all about. Maybe because this anode cup was cracked. Right here, split, and they were trying to seal it better. I'll have to take some I don't know, lacquer thinner or something and try to clean that up. So basically I'm going to work on trying to just go ahead and pull this board out of here and get it out so I can put on new caps and the flyback and this big guy right here in the power supply section. Filter cap, that's it. So I don't know if you could pick up the squealing when this was turned on, but I'm pretty sure that cap's blown. May have been causing that high-pitched squeal, but I got all new caps, so we're gonna put them in. New cap kit.
Come here.
This flyback's weird because there's 3 pots on it. Not quite sure what they're all for. Well, I know what 2 of them are for. I'm not sure what that top one's for. Does it even turn? Is it just... Or is it just on there? No, it turns. Guess I'll have to ask some arcade forum people what that might be about. So I took out 2 1/4-inch head screws here, there. Pull off the decal coil. The ground dag here off the neck board. one half the yoke. Okay, so that's how it was. Green is to the outside of the board, yellow is to the inside. Red is to the outside. Damn, man. Red is to the outside and blue is to the inside. It's the horizontal section of the yoke. The vertical section of the yoke. The ground dag is off. There's my test pattern generator plug. RGB ground and sync inputs. Well, outputs from the test pattern generator and inputs into the monitor. Yeah, I'm gonna need 2 hands to do that. So I'm gonna disconnect that. And then I should be able to pull this out. We'll see. Okay, so neck board came off of this one, I believe. That one there is for the remote adjustment board. So this is the first monitor. Hold on, I'm shaking. Took the flyback wire out, or the focus wire out. That. So this neck board is completely off. It's the first time I've ever messed with a monitor that did that. So I think that's pretty cool. People don't care, you know, that I'm recording a video or anything, so please excuse all that nonsense. So anyways, I'm about to pull this board out, and then we'll take a look at it, if you don't mind the cussing and swearing. Okay, I can't take this board out yet. The ground dag that goes to the neck board right here has a wire that goes through, yeah, just through this, I don't know, is that ferrite? Anyways, this piece of the flyback, does it have to go through there? I'm assuming it does. Soldered to the board, and this is soldered to the board from the ground. So I guess I'm going to unsolder that stuff, pull it out, and then I'll get this board out. Okay, that was just weird because I just took off this wire, and it wasn't 2 wires, it was 1 wire. 1 wire went from that area through the flyback and into this hole, and it wasn't hooked to the ground dag. I swear it was. I'll have to rewatch that. I don't know if you guys noticed that or not, but yeah, I just completely took off a wire I didn't have to. I think. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to rewatch that. So yeah, that's I guess now a mistake I'm gonna have to fix. That's kind of depressing. Okay, so board looks decent to me at a first glance. Nothing broken or torn up. But what's weird is that a burn mark? And that is rusted where it may have had some heat. Also may explain the heat here. This plug is pretty badly melted, which we can fix that. Yeah, so crap. I think something has been hot there before. Hot enough that it got the steel hot and allowed it to rust. There's like burn marks, but the bottom of this board is, I don't see anything in that area. I don't know if they cut these yoke connectors apart like this from the factory. Could this be a replacement chassis? Or is it a different chassis and they had to cut that to adapt that yoke to this board? Don't know, but I'm gonna get into replacing caps now. A little update here. I don't remember where I last left off at, but the flyback's pulled out. I like to pull the flyback off because I was gonna replace it anyways. It just makes the board lighter, less wires flopping around in my way. And in all honesty, even if I wasn't replacing the flyback, I think I would take it off anyways, because now that I've taken it off while I'm recapping this, it's so much nicer just flipping a board up and down. So I got some caps replaced, not all of them. I still got a good bit to go, but I noticed there's a couple bipolar caps on here. I've replaced one already. This monitor's a little different than I'm used to because, like, there's no, like, usually when there's a capacitor, there'll be a little circle around the two leads or something, and there ain't nothing on this board. So some of these real small ones in the middle, like these ones in here, they're kind of tricky to find. So yeah, it's going along pretty good. I'm just making sure I'm getting all the negatives in the negative holes and trying to make sure that when I pull the cap out that the negative was to the negative hole and that this ain't one of them stupid boards with misprints on it or something. So that's where I'm at. I'm gonna just keep replacing caps. Okay, got all the caps in on the chassis board and the neck board. This was just plugged in with the other flyback, so that plug is not, I really don't have to do it, so just soldered that together. Focus wires back in. I still have to trim all my legs. I don't have a cutter for that. Right where I'm at. I reflowed all the red, blue, and green transistors. It didn't look like they needed it, but I did it anyways. Kind of flattened them down on the neck board. All of the caps that I had matched. I have a few extra. But this is also for a 47 or 7400 too. And you can see right here there was supposed to be a cap, that there wasn't one. That must be there on the 7400, but not the 75. There's a couple more places I've seen where caps were supposed to be that aren't on this board. The only one that didn't match up was a 33 microfarad 50 volt. That was to go right here. And I had a 33 microfarad 63 volt that didn't go anywhere else. So I know you can go up in voltage, not down. So that's what I used. I don't know if that's some kind of misprint on here, or if they ran out of the 50 volts and put a 63 in there instead. I don't know. But it should work, hopefully. But yeah, got it all capped. Got the neck board hooked back up. Need to trim all the legs. You can see them all over the place. Reflowed the header pins for the video input. Reflowed the neck board, where the neck board comes into here. Reflowed it on the neck board. Didn't really look like it needed anything, but I just did it anyways. Okay, so friggin' alright, well, I went through, checked all these caps, made sure the negatives were facing the negatives on the board. Let's see here. Maybe if you don't know, if somebody would be watching this and don't know. Here's where a cap not should be, but this is what it looks like underneath a cap on this particular board. You got that circle, and you got the regular board, and then you got the black part. That black part is where the negative side of the cap goes down. You can see the black underneath there. The only ones that don't matter is the non-polarized caps, like this one here. And when I was checking around at all the negatives, I found this guy here. Bipolar cap that I thought went there, even though there wasn't one there. That's the number it says, but it was this cap right here, this big gray one. And BP means bipolar. So I did change it. It was the same value, so I changed it. And then after I made sure I cut all the the extra long legs off. I was scraping a little bit at the flux on here. Clean it up. So this board is ready to go back in on the tube. And hopefully when I get home, I can get this put in and fire it up and see if we can get it to run. I broke free the glue here on the B plus cap. Adjustment there, potentiometer. So I'm gonna have to find the test pin for B plus, because I need to have that hooked up, because I accidentally did move that, some breaking the glue loose. So I will have to check and adjust the B plus. So hopefully we can get that on film and it works out good. This says test pin 203 VID plus. I cannot find a test pin 202. Alright, I'm going to do more research. Jacob, show where test pin 202 is at.
This front of this capacitor right here.
I could not find it. Jacob had to find it. Okay. Back home. Cleaned up where that cup goes on. Got the dag ground back on the neck board. Test pattern generator plugged in. Vertical, horizontal yoke is plugged in. The Gauss coil is plugged in. The check that. Okay. The remote board's plugged in. And whatever that is plugged back in. So, got my ground. Got my on test pin 202 to the red lead. 200 volts DC. Hope shit don't blow up. Heard the gauss. Some static. Freaking crazy ass shit. Like big time. 118 volts on the B+. Okay. I am going to try to do some screen adjusting here. Yeah. I'm going to grab a mirror and then sit back there and try to do some adjusting. Okay, this is plugged in. Excuse me. Plugging this in. Okay. I want to see something here. Test patterns on. Now when I'm looking at this in the mirror, I can't see anything. That's black to me. But I see when I recorded this, it's black to me right there. But in the camera, it looks like it's still on. In the last segment I recorded, I did some reading on cloth, and a guy had the same issue. And I highly doubt it, but I'm gonna try it. This ground wire wraps around here. They said if it ain't wrapped around there right, only half the screen will display. So I'm going to unsolder this wire and wrap it around there like it was in the previous recording and see if I get the full screen back. Okay, so I did some more reading, and they said new flybacks from Arcade Parts and Repair is not supposed to have the black wire wrapped around it. So easiest thing for me to do was just snip it out. I got it pulled over here, around here. It's not around the flyback anymore. And I'm going to plug it in and see if it works. The complaint about this black wire is half your screen's missing, just like I have. So, man, I'm crossing my fingers because I really want this to work. Well, it seems like I have full picture. It's kind of messed up, but at least it's all there now. So I'll try to do some adjusting and see if can get a better picture on this now. Color bars with shading. Red, green, blue with white. Also shading. Just RGB. RGB vertical. Grayscale. Red screen, green screen, blue screen, white screen. And my burn-in test page. I call this the Tetris page. Okay, here's Golden Tee. It says 2003. It's actually 2005.
It's your game.
So I'm gonna play a few seconds of this game here. As you can see, the monitor, the picture looks okay, but it's missing red. So that's what I was working on the other monitor for.
Welcome to Golden Tee Golf. Hi, I'm Pat Summerall, and with me is Peter Jacobson. Peter?
Thanks, Pat. I'm really glad to be here.
We're here at Blue Horizon, where it's been raining lightly all
Blue
day.
Horizon. Oh shit, it's raining. Oh no. Okay, so you get the point. I'm gonna put that other 27-inch monitor in here and see if we can get this looking good. Okay.
That'll work.
Well, it's Gardner monitor that we recapped to put a fly back on. I have it in the machine, but got a little problem. Frame ain't lining up, even though it's a 27-inch. So I'm thinking I'm gonna have to
It's on, Peter.
either drill some holes or
For one, trying for bird.
move that tube and chassis to this frame.
Excellent.
She's looking pretty good to me. What do you think, Jacob? How's it look to you? Well, monitor's looking good to me, so.
Honors to golfer one.
Nice. Hold on, let's watch Jacob drive.
Down the tube.